It was revealed that the most commonly used to essay women at the club was GHB. It's called 물퐁 in Korea. Well, at least that's what most commonly used slang for it. It is the most commonly used date drug even here in the US. It comes in a clear liquid form or white powder that becomes completely dissolved and invisible in liquid. It is odorless, tasteless, and colorless. There was a journalist who experimented by taking GHB herself under the care of a doctor. She was so loopy. She alternates from being passed out to being awake and like writing things on her hand and talking about her mom. She doesn't remember a single thing. None of it.
Wow.
But that's not the only damage. Long use of GHB can result in poor memory and even brain damage. If you take a lot while consuming alcohol, it could even result in death. The victim usually starts becoming semi-conscious just from one sip. It's like the lights are turned off suddenly. But it can't really be detected that well. It's often compared to a state of dementia. You can walk around by yourself, but you don't remember walking around. And everything feels separated from your own free will. At the Burning Sun, some employees would request to be brought zombies for VIP room 3, for example. They'd be like, okay, we need zombies in room 3. Because GHB makes the victims able to walk and talk, but they're not there. They're not making any decisions themselves, so they know that these victims are either entirely unconscious or their cognitive abilities are all heavily affected by the. So they know damn well that there is no consent that is given. Do you have CCTV footage of the hotel reception? Because in the hotel lobby, I can assure you, I did not walk in there willingly. She's trying to prove something, anything to the police so that they take her seriously. Which, they really should have done in the first place, but regardless, they pull the CCTV footage and Minjung is floored. It doesn't make any sense. She sees herself walking into the hotel with the man willingly. He's not dragging her. She doesn't even appear to be She's walking normally, stable. She's walking at a leisurely pace. If anything, she's almost leading the man. She's walking in front of the guy. She's having an animated conversation with him. She's seen on CCTV camera of the hotel lobby smiling at the man. How is this possible? Jung felt like she was going crazy. She was being framed as this liar, accuser, manipulator, gold digger. I mean, they used a lot of eloquent words in the media news outlets, but they basically said she found out that he was rich, seduced him, took a picture with him because she was having fun, and now she's turned around and cried rape because she wants his money.
So the photo was released.
Yeah.
And that became like something that, oh, wow.
Chav is like, look, we had a good time. She's smiling. Does that look like someone who's fearing for her life?
Wow.
Minjung knew that she would never in a million years lie about something like this. And you know what? There was something odd about the CCTV footage. Sure, at first it seems like she's happy to be there, but she has zero memory of it. And second of all, it's -8 degrees outside in South Korea. Where is her jacket? She remembers wearing a puffer jacket that night, but she's not wearing it in the hotel footage.
So what is she wearing?
Like thin, light sweater.
Okay, like what you're wearing.
Yes.
Like a sweater. Okay.
It's just very strange. She's an adult. No one just leaves their jacket at even if you feel hot, you carry your jacket.
Yeah.
Where is her jacket? It just isn't something that she would do. So she keeps trying to piece together the events of that night, and it feels like there are just holes in her memory, as if someone had taken a scalpel and carved out a section of her memory, clean precision. She does remember, though, hours, long before the hotel, she was getting dressed up to go with her friends to the Burning Sun Club. Until she felt this out-of-body, almost a floating sensation. Mid-conversation, her eyes go fuzzy. She was trying to be polite and focus on what this man is saying, but it's like her eyes were out-of-focus camera lenses. She tries wiping her eyes discreetly, blinking, but even her brain starts to feel fuzzy. It feels like she had been drinking heavily all night long, but that doesn't make any sense because she had been so careful not to get drunk. She had even been taking just glasses of water in between her shots of whiskey. She tries to rub her eyes again, but she said that her hands were not coming up to her face now. She tries to move, even just one finger. Nothing's moving. It was kind of like sleep paralysis where you can't even move, though you try really, really hard. And even with something like sleep paralysis, there's this strong level of panic associated with that feeling of not having control over your body. But imagine that experience at a club with a bunch of strangers. I'm sure it's a different level of confusion, stress, anxiety, panic. Her body was no longer responding to her brain. The man that she had been talking to, still going on and on about how he had a flight scheduled tomorrow to go back to Thailand, and he's just fading into this big blur. And she heard his voice through it all, and it felt like she was listening from a completely different dimension. It sounded very distorted. She heard him say, "So you have to make me happy today." And that's it. She doesn't remember anything else after that. She knew she wasn't going crazy, even though everyone, including the police, are trying to convince her that she's going crazy. She's thinking, I must have been f***ed. And she had a sneaking suspicion that something was in the water at Burning Sun. And the worst part of GHB is that the drug is basically untraceable. I mean, yeah, it's not untraceable, but it's not for long.
So that's how the girl tested negative.
Yes. So depending on the person, the drug can be completely metabolized anywhere between 5 to 24 hours of use. Meaning, if you go home feeling like something very sinister happened, you feel like, okay, I need to get my thoughts straight before I go to the police station because I can't walk in there and say, I don't know, something happened, I don't know. But by that point, the be completely out of your system.
Wow.
And you would be labeled as a flower snake in Korea. It's referencing a woman who seduces men, sleeps with them, and then wakes up the next morning deciding to sue them for money. In Korea, the drug is often described with this phrase, I did this action, but I don't remember doing this action. Which I think is a really good indicator of how hard it is in a place like Korea to prove that you've been drugged and assaulted and have the police take you seriously. At this point, everything starts snowballing. It went from a man was being assaulted and maybe a single VIP was assaulting a woman, or at least trying to. Then it snowballs into no, they are running a sex trafficking ring and there are many, many women getting drugged and assaulted by many different VIPs and the employees are all in on it.